Hey guys, today I'm going to show you a hip mobility routine that you can do anytime before your workout, after your workout, before bed. As we said in our write-up, bedtime is when we love to tell people to do it. It's a great way to kind of shut off your central nervous system, get you ready to go to sleep so you can get into a deeper sleep. So first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to get down into what we call our hip 90-90 position. So you can see we create 90-degree angles with all of our different joints, ankles, knees, hips. We want to be in an exact 90-degree position. So for what we will do is this, you think stretching at times, what we're going to do is kind of some movement stretching. This is not necessarily holding poses for an extended period of times. This is putting us at end ranges and then working in those ranges. So the first exercise we're going to do is called front leg leans. Our front leg lean, basically, if we can, we're going to try to take our hands off the ground, lean over our front leg, and come back. If we need to, we keep our hands on the ground, lean over our front leg, and push ourselves back. Again, from a different angle, if we can, we want to have our hands off the ground, lean over our front leg, and use our own strength to push ourselves back. We like to do this about 10 times to really loosen up the back of the hip. So that's our first exercise. It's called front leg leans. Our second exercise that we'll use is that we'll go back knee raises. Again, we're going to sit as tall as we can, hands off the ground if we can, and we're going to push our knee up as high as we can and bring it back down. If we need to, we can put our hands on the ground, sit nice and tall, put our knee up, and bring it back down. Some of you will probably feel a very strong contraction in your butt, and that's okay. We're trying to work your hips to get them as loose as possible and put them in positions that is most likely like a squat or running or shuffling or something we would see on the field. So again, we're going to do about 10 reps on back knee raises. Our last exercise that we're going to put in is our back foot raise. So again, we want to sit as tall as we can, pick our back foot up off the ground, and put it down. Many of y'all are not going to be able to keep your hands off the ground because you're going to have to lean forward to pick your foot up. We advise that most people just keep their hands on the ground, pick the back foot up, and come down. Even you can see I have some lean because it's hard for me to pick the back foot up. It's very excessive in a lot of people. You can see it in me. It's normal. So what we want to do is we want to do 10, 10, and 10 on these exercises. We want to make sure that we do the other side as well. I suggest about two sets on each. Go 10 on this side, flip over, do 10 of each exercise on the other side. The final thing that we want to do is we want to go through hip switches. And I would suggest doing 10 total of these hip switches. What it is that we want to create as much space between these two knees as we can. So we're going to pick this knee up while leaving this knee on the ground, try to create as much space between the knees as we can, and then rotate all the way over. Now, the first one you may need to keep your hands on the ground. Ideally, we would like to have hands off the ground, pick our knees up, separate them as far as we can, and roll back over. Now notice this isn't a controlled manner. We don't want it to be a fast roll. The normal thing that everybody wants to do when they don't feel good in a situation or they don't feel good in a position is they want to move fast. We want to move slow to own those positions. To create a less stiff athlete, we have to have that athlete under load and pressure in a position of stretch. So this is what we do, our hip mobility routine that we use before, after, or right before bed to get better and less stiff, as we said in the write-up. So again, we want to do 2 sets of 10 of each one of the front leg leans, the back knee raises, the back foot raises, and then we want to do 10 total hip switches over and back. If you do that 3 to 4 times a week and you do it for an extended period of time, I promise you that you'll see gains in your mobility. For more information or other workouts, keep continuing to check us out on performancecourse.com or our social media.